Welcome back to Kleppers Quarter, today's top news story. And wow, today's top story is not just a headline, it's a purge, a shakeup, and possibly the pilot episode of Survivor, Pentagon Edition. On August 22nd, 2025, America's national security establishment got hit with a coordinated smackdown so big it makes Game of Thrones look like workplace mediation. We're talking FBI raids on John Bolton's house, senior military commanders being fired, and Trump loyalists live tweeting justice like it's an NFL game. The whole day looked less like government and more like Trump finally got to run the Justice Department like it's his own season of The Apprentice. Spoiler alert, everybody got fired. So let's dive into this, not with the calm of historians, but with the panic of people realizing our democracy might now be powered by Fox News hosts and Trump's personal grudges. Segment 1, the Bolton raid, revenge served at 7 a.m. So let's start with John Bolton. Remember him? The hawk with a mustache so big it could probably qualify as a separate defense contractor. Well, the FBI raided his house and office last Friday. Why? Allegedly for classified information tied to his 2020 memoir, The Room Where It Happened. Quick refresher, this was a book so full of dirt on Trump that the White House sued to block it, failed, and then the Biden DOJ basically said, not worth it, and dropped the whole case in 2021. Fast forward to 2025, Kash Patel, Trump's new FBI director and longtime loyalist with a grudge against Bolton, revives it. Boom, armed raid, new investigation. And in case anyone missed the message, Patel himself tweeted mid-raid, "No one is above the law at FBI agents on mission," which, let's be clear, is not a thing FBI directors usually do. Normally they wait until after an investigation to comment. This is like tweeting heading into surgery, hope I don't hit the spleen, mid-operation. Then Attorney General Pam Bondi retweeted it with, "America's safety isn't negotiable. Justice will be pursued, always," which is either a serious statement or the tagline for Fast and Furious 12, Classified Justice. And Trump, he said he learned about it from the news, then called Bolton a sleazebag and compared it to his own raid at Mar-a-Lago, which is not exactly denying political retribution. That's like a mob boss saying, "Oh, they roughed you up? They roughed me up too. Welcome to the family." So what's the real story? A long-running Trump-Bolton feud, a dormant case resurrected, and a Justice Department now operating more like the revenge wing of Trump Tower. Segment 2, Pentagon Purge, You're Fired, Military Edition. Meanwhile, at the Pentagon, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, yes, the guy who went from Fox News couch to running the world's biggest military, fired not one, not two, but 3 senior commanders in a single day. First was Lieutenant General Jeffrey Cruz, head of the Defense Intelligence Agency. His crime? His agency produced an honest assessment saying U.S. airstrikes on Iran only set their nuclear program back by months, not obliterated it like Trump claimed. Imagine getting fired for telling the truth. That's not the Pentagon, that's working retail at Walmart. Then, Vice Admiral Nancy LaCour, head of the Navy Reserve, gone. Rear Admiral Jamie Sands, head of the Navy SEALs, gone. No explanation. Just pink slips all around. For those keeping score, that's the head of an intelligence agency, the Navy Reserve, and the Navy SEALs all axed before lunch. It's like Hegseth decided to cosplay as Stalin, minus the mustache, but with way more Fox and Friends sound bites. And the official explanation? Loss of confidence, which is military code for "we don't like you anymore." The message is clear. Disagree with Trump's version of reality, and you're out. Which, for the record, is a great way to run a reality show, but a terrible way to run a military. Segment 3, the Hegseth Doctrine, loyalty first. Pete Hegseth's been upfront about this. He wrote a whole book trashing the Pentagon and blaming diversity, equity, and inclusion programs for America's decline in combat readiness, which is rich coming from a guy whose military resume includes hosting weekend segments in front of a green screen. His philosophy? Strip out the deep state, replace career professionals with loyalists, forget competence, forget apolitical service. The new Pentagon motto is basically, are you with Trump or are you with unemployment? And remember, back in February, they already fired the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, the chief of naval operations, and all the top military lawyers. Yes, even the JAGs, The people who say, hey, that order might be illegal. Because if you're planning on bending rules, the first people you want gone are the lawyers. This isn't a purge anymore. It's a loyalty rebranding campaign. Think of it as the Pentagon's new iPhone launch. The iPentagon comes in 3 models: fired, promoted, and indicted. Segment 4, Bolton versus Trump, the long feud. Let's circle back to Bolton. This feud goes way back. He was Trump's national security advisor, lasted 17 months, and then they split like a bad Tinder date. Trump says he fired Bolton. Bolton says he quit. Either way, Bolton left and immediately started trashing Trump's foreign policy. Then came the memoir. Bolton painted Trump as clueless, reckless, and more interested in pleasing dictators than protecting America. Trump responded by trying to sue him into oblivion. And now, years later, with Trump back in power, Bolton's house is raided by the FBI director who once accused him of being part of the deep state. This isn't about classified documents. This is about payback. It's less no one is above the law and more no one is above Trump's grudge list. Segment 5, intelligence on trial. The scariest part? Intelligence itself is on trial. The Defense Intelligence Agency did its job, analyzed bomb damage, gave the truth, and for that, its director was fired. This sends a chilling message across the entire intelligence community. If the facts don't match the president's narrative, don't give us facts. And that's dangerous, because intelligence isn't supposed to be a loyalty test. It's supposed to be reality. And reality, inconveniently, doesn't always trend MAGA. So now what do we get? Analysts hedging reports, commanders afraid to speak, everyone wondering, if I say what the data shows, will I still have a job tomorrow? That's not intelligence, that's fan fiction. Segment 6, the bigger consequences. So what does all this mean? America's national security is now being run like a loyalty club. Speak out and you're gone. Criticize and you're raided. Produce facts and you're fired. And the ripple effects? Allies lose trust, enemies gain leverage, and inside the U.S., every career officer is wondering if service to the Constitution still matters or if the only oath that counts is to Trump. This isn't just a shakeup, it's a full-on stress test of democracy. And right now, democracy looks like the student who didn't study for the test, forgot their pencil, and is trying to copy off Hungary. In closing, so today's top story isn't just that John Bolton's mustache got raided or that Pete Hegseth fired half the Pentagon before his second cup of coffee. It's that the rules of the game have changed. This was a coordinated campaign. Purge the military, silence dissent, punish critics. A day that turned the national security apparatus into the Trump loyalty club, with membership cards available at Mar-a-Lago gift shop. And the big question is, how long can a country run on loyalty instead of competence? Because history shows us this much. When the truth gets fired, reality eventually shows up, and it doesn't care about your tweets.